There we are. Hi, everyone. Hope everyone is well. Let me know if you can hear me, see me. Hi, Juan and Maricela and Lee and Shorty and Renata, Doretha. Hi, Odette. I just read your email this morning. You will hear from me today, babe. Hi, Little John. Let's put him over here. Hi, Shingamafal. Hi, Adva. Hi, Stacy. Hi, Shauna. I hope everyone had a safe, happy weekend. I guess we're still in the weekend, but you know what I mean. Hi, Anya. Hi, Samantha. Okay. All right, so poor little John. He will just always be little John in this group. Yeah. So today we are here, and if you've never watched me before, this is a great community. And I also, we see each other. I know that I'm not here without people who watch me. So I've always been determined, even in bigger rooms, to acknowledge everyone. So if you are new and you're a replay or viewer, or if you're hiding in the chat, feel free to say hi if you're comfortable. The community itself is very welcoming. I am Suzy. I'm a trauma-informed astrologer and metaphysical practitioner. And today we're going to talk about the signs Aries through Virgo, but also if you have placements in the 1st through the 6th house, and also if, hold on one second. Okay. And we're also talking about planets, charts that would have, hi Rose, charts that would have Venus as its ruler as well as Mars. So if you're Libra rising or Scorpio rising, these readings might also feel like they resonate. And then charts that have Mars, Venus, Sun, Moon, and Mercury all very close to the ascendant. I often resonate with Scorpio. My Pluto is it's kissing my ascendant. Okay. So yeah, so tomorrow we have a Zoom party. We have 2 a month. And because a lot of you in the chat right now are one form or another, there's 3 levels of the membership. We have the Evolutionary Club membership, where I'm going to start doing, you know how people have makeup tests and makeup classes? Just for scheduling, I'm going to start having makeup Zooms, so that if you're missing them for scheduling reasons, even though I let you guys all vote, sometimes it still can't work out for 1 or 2 people. We're going to make accommodations for that, because you should get what you pay for. Okay. So that's why we're here on a Saturday. Hey, I said hi Juan before, but I'll say it again. Our resident Norm. Yeah, so that's why we're here on a Saturday today, because we have a private Zoom party tomorrow. And also this week, by this week, we're going to have details up for the Christmas party. And that's not just members. Okay. There's games and prizes, like real games and prizes. Fun, fun. Okay. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Make me want to go boom, boom, boom. What do I know that from? I'm old, so I hear that really old song. It was like a dance battle song. Like, boom, boom, boom. Let's go back to your room. And then a female group came. No, I mean, I know it's a song, but I'm trying to remember, like, because I feel like there's more than one song with those lyrics. A female group, after Boom Boom Boom, Let's Go Back to My Room came out, a female group came with a battle. This is like in the late 80s, early 90s. Came out with a, oh, I know the song now you're talking about. But a female, like, return song came out, says, bam, 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 I came here to jam, like, on the dance floor tonight. Like, back off. You probably have to be around my age to remember that, because it wasn't a big popular song. It wasn't like an 80s one-hit wonder. Boom like an 808, yeah. Okay. We're starting with, right? We're starting with Aries. I feel like, didn't I just do Aries? And that's because I just did fire signs. Yo, if you are a fire sign, if you have Mars, Jupiter, or the sun near your ascendant, if you have placements in the 1st, 5th, or 9th house, or if you're a human, go check out Wednesday's fire sign readings. Sagittarius, y'all have me crying. The fire sign readings on Wednesday were cray. This is for Aries again, so I'm thinking I just did Aries. This can't be Aries. Yeah, because it was the fire signs. Oh my God. I love this. I mean, people, if you're watching this in replay, I hope at some point, and if you're always watching this in replay and you're like, you're never on when I can be on, tell me. Tell me when I need to be on. Because it's not about me. This community is hilarious. But, or at least please watch with the live chat going. Good morning, James. I had you crying. Woo! All right. Mystical Dream Tarot. It's hard to see the design. There we go. Oh, good, Shorty. Okay. This cup. Why did I don't hold? Does anyone else hold their coffee cup with this hand? Why did they put the writing? Like, I get it so I could read it. I guess when coffee cups were invented, they weren't invented for people to be watched on YouTube. But you would want anyone in the room. It says, I have the vocabulary of a well-educated sailor. This is from a friend and client from, like, oh my God, 10 years ago. It's one of my favorite. Okay. Aries. 12:20, whatever time, 9 minutes and 11 seconds on the clock. This, I love this. We are, of course I love this because it's very We Are Groot. Big fan of Groot. We have a tree that has been a little bit uprooted, but its roots still run deep. It is determined to grow. It may not be fully rooted, but it's in there enough that it's going to be enormous. It's going to provide the stability that that all of us want, and as we can see, it's kind of holding on by a shred of a moon here. This is the Ace of Pentacles in this deck. and it is in reverse. Let's get to the other one. We also have the Nine of Swords, but in reverse. I'm not mad at that. Five of Cups, also in reverse, also not mad at that. Nine of Wands in the upright. Oh, Gemini love, that made my whole day. Yay. What aren't you starting, Aries? And that's really weird for Aries not to start something. This feels a lot like this is two things. One, if it's just an interpersonal reading, right? If this is just about you and no one else. This is about what you don't start because you beat yourself up when you don't finish things. And so that is very much present on the board. Things don't either end well, or like you don't want to put a lot of effort in something that isn't going to be long lasting for you. I love the love in the community right now. Stuff happening in the chat. It's not for me. They're all having love for each other right now. It's a separate conversation and it's so supportive and it makes me want to cry. It has zero to do with me. I love this community. When we have lots of experiences of things not working out the way that we would hope that they would, and also feel like you're wiser. Hi, TS. So when we have this gentleman here with his antlers and the noose and the sword is down, this is the Nine of Wands. This is a gentle defense. This is, you either had a financial experience or a relationship experience that sent you to places that did not feel stable at all. No matter how hard you tried. You're determined not to go back there. This tells the story, right? This tells the story of you trying very, very hard when you probably didn't have a lot of support. This was all you. Ace of Pentacles. Something came in and you grabbed onto it, right? Then there was tons of anxiety. And Five of Cups. There was a feeling of grieving and sadness. So we have anxiety, sadness, and had this been upside down, this would have been very dark moments. Very, very dark moments. Whatever this was that left you feeling unstable, anxiety-ridden, and grieving. The good news is that we have these upside down, especially these two. I am never mad at the Nine of Swords and the Five of Cups upside down in reverse. Who aren't you letting in, or who are you possibly pushing away? Who aren't you letting in, or who are you possibly pushing away? There's a fear of this because that takes enormous strength, right? This takes enormous strength. to start all over, to start new stability. Listen, whether it is that we're having that full moon in Gemini in 2 days, along with that full moon in Gemini, we are having a Libra, Venus and South Node conjunction. So for Aries, that's going to be an opposition. You could very well hear from someone that you have not heard from in a while. And you're going to feel like you have this decision to make. This Nine of Wands is defensive, obviously. It feels like you've been in a place where it may feel like kill or be killed, and not in a, I don't want to be flagged for that. I meant like, you know, you either have to defend yourself or you're going to go to that kind of darker place again and feeling abandoned and feeling not worthy, and you're not willing to do that. You're going to be ready soon, Aries. This could have to do with the reading that I had. If you're Aries placements, first house placements, Mars near the ascendant, even a Scorpio rising, please go watch the Aries reading from Wednesday. We talked about advocating for people we're no longer. And so, and that sometimes we advocate for us and not for them. The advocation grew, the situation grew out of it being appropriate for you to advocate, whether you're being taken advantage of or whether it made them feel less than, that you felt the need to still do it. One way or the other. But it was a big message about how when that becomes part of our identity, because we needed someone to protect us when we were young, and an adult that should have, in natural order, protected us didn't, we feel overprotective of others. I totally will cop to that experience, right? So this feels like, woo, Aries, like either I keep everybody out and then I'm fine, I won't even think about that noose, or, you know, I let people in and I put myself in danger of thinking about the noose. You have healed so much. You have come so far. The anxiety is starting to lessen. The grieving is really kind of on its last legs of processing. Not that we ever really finish grieving, but it just turns into something else. Let's get one more. Aries, you have a decision to make, because you will hear from them. It's the Page of Cups in reverse. Listen. Let them show you who they are. It's not a choice, Aries, of you either I keep everybody out with this sword, or I let people in and I'm left thinking about the noose. It's that you give all to everyone that you let in, and finding that place where you're not exactly giving them the ability to take it all from you. Remember that Nine of Cups. I feel like the Nine of Cups is the card that needs to be there, and it's not. that would kind of heal the situation. That 9 of Cups is the best recipe to the 10 of Cups, because it means if they offer you that Ace of Cups, if they offer you that gesture of love, and for some reason it does not work out, right? When they take it away, they're only taking away 1 cup. You still have those 9 cups. You don't feel like the noose is something you have to think about. You need to have your own stability built for you. It's that Aries will give everything. They rush in to save because it fills a hole for them. And then there's expectations with that. So it's monitoring your expectations, and it's also, but you know, it's monitoring your expectations, and it's also learning patience, which was another theme on Wednesdays. It's learning the patience of not giving everything right away, letting them show you who they are, taking time to sit back. Aries gets called out for impatience, for how they talk or how they interrupt or how they, I win, right? Or people can think Aries are rude. I get that all the time. To blunt this, but the thing that they leave out while they're slandering Aries signs is that they also give everything right away. An Aries is like a New Yorker, and if you grew up in New York, or if you didn't and you think New Yorkers are rude, let me explain to you. New Yorkers are like Aries. Yeah, people think they're all argumentative. They'll fight for something, but they also will fight for you. With you and for you, they'll fight for you, right? So they will give you the finger and cuss you out on the road and tell you you're a bad driver. But if at the red light you say, I'm sorry, I'm distracted. You know, I just found out that my family can't make it for Christmas. That Aries will invite you into their home that very same day and feed you, and you will have a friend forever. That's very New Yorker. And I did not realize that till I had to move out of New York and spend a Christmas by myself. The first Christmas my kids were with their dad and I was in a new state. And I thought, never in a million years would I see a million people work with, I think 15 at the time, and anyone let me go home by myself on a Christmas. Somebody would have been like, get your ass in the car. You're coming home. You're not, right? So in New York, but that did not happen when I moved out of New York. So Aries is like a New Yorker. They're quick. They're quick to spout. They're quick to, they don't even hold a grudge at all. But they will give all. Okay, you're surprised if you would hear from them at all. I am shuffling for Taurus now. You're surprised if you would hear from them at all. So when we see that South Node Libra Venus conjunction, I have been saying for a couple of weeks, that is going to be something that possibly heals something of self-esteem. If you hear from this person, it might be like, I need you back. You may hear something about this person. It may come through secondhand, but some part of it is information that helps repair self-esteem. Hi, Stephanie. Your value, your sense of value. What placement would I also consider a mother wound? Honestly, any moon sign aspected by certain planets in a certain way can be a moon sign, a mother wound placement. Chiron conjunct the moon certainly qualifies. But, you know, all of those things can be healed also. as a Chiron conjunct the moon person. That stuff can be healed. Takes two. I healed my end of it in my 20s, 30s, and we healed her end of it in her 80s. So it doesn't, you don't have to wait for the other person to be ready to heal the wound for you to heal it. That's the good news. Okay. Oh, Taurus, what you doing? What you doing, Taurus, with Jupiter in your sign? What are you? That's beautiful, Odette. I think learning all of that is fantastic. And I think some people are just more apt to be. I think there's some people who, I think everyone's capable of it. It comes easier for some. But all of that is really super great to learn. Well, the thing is, we can say Aries and Chiron is not fun. Okay. Collective message here. This always happens, right? But I love the conversation that sparks. Chiron was in Aries for 5 years, as it is now, right? Chiron stays in a sign for a while. So we can't just assume everyone within a 5-year period born all across the world has a mother wound. So none of the Chiron, the source of what wounds us, will never be fun for anyone. But Chiron is the wounded healer. We do become the healer. And then it is, if by 50, when you have your Chiron return, Chiron still feels like new wounds to you, that's a time to look at how much you're resisting the healing, which I know sounds crazy, but I'm going to start saying this once every show, or it's not a show, God, I'm old, once every live, that the pain and discomfort you will experience during any transition in life or astrological transit is directly correlated to the amount of resistance you give it. But Chiron and Aries won't automatically be, the wound won't be, it doesn't necessarily have to be about mom. I want to make sure I'm making that clear. So, because that would be bad astrology if I said that it did. Okay. All right. Okay. Taurus. Are you taking a break from cuffing season during cuffing season? I mean, okay, so we have the Six of Cups. Let's start. We have the Six of Cups. Bye, Shingamafall. We have this Six of Cups here. It's a really beautiful Six of Cups. We have those lotus flowers. And we, oddly enough, we have what I used to draw all the time when I was a kid. And I would get yelled at because, like, people would say to me, it's either a Pegasus or a unicorn. And I would be like, it'll be whatever I want it to be. Nonconformist from an early age. So we have these two on a unicorn over the sun with the Six of Cups. Sometimes Six of Cups is childhood sweetheart, person from the past. This is childhood healing, Six of Cups. This healing is coming in, Taurus. We have the Sun card with the Four of Cups and the Two of Cups. So we have the Sun brightly here in these two. Choosing the happiness, right? And then we have these Two of Cups and Four of Cups in reverse. When we have the Two of Cups is Venus in Cancer, right? We have this sense of reciprocity, of getting what you give, all of this is great. The Two of Cups, we love it, right? When it's in reverse, and when we have the Four of Cups in reverse, not worrying about what you can't get from universe, not looking at what isn't being given to you. I quite like the Four of Cups in reverse, because the Four of Cups is universe is offering you all this stuff, or universe is offering you something incredible, and you're kind of maybe a little sad and focused on the three things you have, feeling like something's missing, but you're not paying attention fully. So when we have it in reverse, this is someone paying attention. We have also the yin yang right there. We have somebody paying attention and concentrating on themselves. Quite honestly, Taurus, it's about time. The Two of Cups in reverse is not about you giving up on love, and it's not about you giving up on reciprocity, and it's not about giving up on somebody who will give you what you give, or finding that like-minded soul. That's about realizing that what you already have, you can't make what you already had. I just heard the term, like, can't make a hoe a housewife. And it's not necessarily that this person is a hoe. It's just that this was somebody, hey, Will, this is somebody that you really wanted to be your reciprocity. And I think that you tried to love them, to give them what they wanted. Taurus rising, Taurus sun, moon, second house placements, Venus near the ascendant, even a Libra rising. I know some people would look at this spread and think that this looks like you're faking it while you're lonely. To me, this looks like creating your own happiness, and then you're not gonna do this till you really actually find somebody who matches that energy. What would make me much sadder to see would be these two upside down, so that you could try to have this. I mean, Taurus is fixed. Taurus will stay in a bad relationship. I love you all, but you will stay in a bad relationship. You will stay in something because the change and the instability during the change feels worse than the conditions of which you're willing to stay. This is huge. This is huge. In the Four of Cups, we have this big, beautiful cup being offered from universe. And prior to doing this work and finding our own happy, we were ignoring that. But with this upside down means you are no longer ignoring that, like, gift from universe that you are being offered. Let's take one more and see where this is going, or the advice. Also, next week, next week. Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, when I will start doing December, January readings. When I start doing, I'm going to record those and be live in the chat. We have the King of Cups and the Moon. When you feel this way about yourself, when you do this healing, when you come out of the darkness that maybe somebody else, it's not even darkness because the other person was dark. It's the idea that all of your energy went to the relationship and went to this person trying to make it what it just wasn't. And so now this experience of what happiness can feel like when you're not waiting on the other person to ordain your happiness. We have the Moon, truth being revealed. It's the, you know, here's your little friend Scorpio, who's on the other side of your seesaw always, right? Taurus. And the King of Cups. There's a mature energy that comes in because this will attract that. Somebody truthful, somebody watery, you know, Taurus and Cancer, peanut butter and jelly, peas and carrots. I am lucky enough to have that on a daily basis because of my kids. And my two female friends that are like the longest, one from when I'm 5 and one from when I'm 15. They're both Taurus season babies. So, I mean, we could go in how water signs and Taurus can really get along. Sometimes Taurus and Pisces have the heart, but Taurus and Scorpio can feel like magnets to each other. But Taurus and Cancer, and the King of Cups is kind of Cancerian energy. It's technically not a Cancer card, but it is Cancerian energy in if you have a matured Cancer that has done the work on attachment. That's kind of like the King of Cups. The homebodiness, the comfort, the intuitiveness of what the other needs with water and earth. That really, I mean, those polarities work really well with each other. Whether it's a water sign or not, keep doing this inner child work. Keep finding reasons to be happy, grateful, worthy. We have people that will finally come in and be truthful with you. I have a deep feeling, Taurus, second house placements, Venus near the ascendant, that you've been dealing with somebody that hasn't been really truthful to you. Maybe there just hasn't been a lot of truth. Maybe there's been like a don't ask, don't tell quality to the relationship, which I'm also feeling. That this is changing. You might still be in the process of letting go, like that 2 of Cups. That 4 of Cups, you might be still in the process of letting go of that relationship or that person. But when that's finally gone, I promise you that somebody very truthful, that we'll get into that as we do earth signs in a couple of weeks. But I already feel like I want to say, like, don't run when that person comes in. I don't feel like that's happening until spring, but don't run when that person comes in because you're like, what is this? Weird. Truth and emotional maturity. Okay, Gemini. Gemini. How you doing, Gemini? Third house placements. Charts run by Mercury. Right, so I'm a Virgo rising. Sometimes the Gemini readings will hit me. Or if you have Mercury near your ascendant, third house placements, Gemini placements. Okay, that's way too many. These cards are so like sleek. And I just got done using a really thick deck. So for a second there, it felt like one. Okay. One more shuffle. I can hear Nikki. Hello? I often message Lee at like, I'm having a night where I can't sleep and it's like midnight and he wanted to stay downstairs. I will message her and be like, Nikki is giving his Lionel Richie concert again because he just sits down here in the middle of the night if I'm sleeping and ignoring him, and he sits in the middle of we have hardwood floors. Like, hello? Hello? Just like that cat. You know that sometimes I'm alone? He is a Libra with a Taurus moon. He's very Venusian. Even to look at him, he's very Venusian. The way he is about food is very Venusian. The way he is about affection, he's very Venusian. He's extremely Venusian. Okay. Now we have a reading. Okay. All right, Gemini. Crazy enough, you got 3 of the cards that Taurus got, except for 2 of them are in reverse position. So, or I'll say he's singing the song of his people. I got a whole Les Mis concert going, because that's how it sounds, like the vibe of, you know, hello, I'm so alone. It's very Les Mis, very dramatic. Okay, so King of Cups in reverse, but we also have the 2 of Cups. Again, we have Venus in Cancer this time. It's in the upright. Empress in reverse and the moon. Listen, if I'm going to have the Empress in reverse and the King of Cups in reverse, this is a couple. But what's so funny about this, and I keep smiling, is we have the 2 of Cups and the moon, right? Truth being revealed. Scorpio showing up again, of course. Or this one's not Scorpio. It's a straight up crab. It's Cancer. The moon is a Pisces card, but I'm just saying. Either you're going to get the scorpion or the crab, usually in the water. You all crack me up. I fucking love Geminis. There's 2 situations going on here. Either no one's budging. You both are crazy about each other. You both know you're crazy about each other. Neither of you are budging. Such an itchy nose right now. This is somebody. I'm picking up somebody. Either you're very intuitive, they're very intuitive. They'll burn it down, build it all back up. They won't burn it down on you, but if it burns down, they don't care. They'll build it back up. They know who they are. And you are walking around like you're some kind of big, tough asshole when you are giant mush. This is creme brulee written all over it. So like the King of Swords in reverse, he's mean when he speaks. The King of Wands in reverse, he's either in an ego death, so he can either be almost a little abusive. This person, I mean, all the kings in reverse are abusive in one way or the other a little bit, either whether it's low-key or overtly. King of Cups in reverse is the person who is so mushy and I almost want to say a little emotionally abusive, not because they're not trying to make you feel bad, but because they'll push you away and they will not give in to what they feel. It's their own self-protection, but like it's when a king is in reverse, for me, this is a sign of somebody who thinks that they're at that maturity place because they've figured out what survival is for them without being a full-on codependent person. You found your match. And neither of you are budging. And you both know it. I promise you, this couple, this couple, no, honey, he's a Libra. You're wrong. Nikki is a Libra. I can't with this. You found each other, but you won't actually, I don't get that you're doing anything about it. But you're probably astral traveling. You're probably energetically thinking about each other all the time. If this person's name doesn't pop up, like say their name is Harry, and you might not hear directly from Harry, but like the name Harry is everywhere and it's not that common, right? Or their picture is like popping up, like, you know, when your phone is like, here, you want to see this picture, look at this memory. Like their face is popping up. Somebody says something that used to be their catchphrase. You two are so energetically tied. Yeah. You know who's like this often? Capricorn. I often see a reverse Capricorn. Reverse King of Cups is Capricorn. It's that creme brulee. They kind of act and they're a little aloof. They do not want to give their power in. And the Empress knows and ignores. These are two people ignoring their intuition. These are two people ignoring what they feel because they feel like they can't trust it. But this is absolutely your match. I mean, let's get another card, but geez, Gemini. What's crazy to me is you two could be like hanging out. You could be having conversations. You could both know, and neither of you will say it. Neither of you will give in and say like, you know, we would be amazing together. This is crazy. Okay. Let's get one more for this read just to see what are you going to do about it. One of you are going to break. Listen, if you have Gemini placements that are going to try in this Venus South Node conjunction, we have the Hangman in reverse and the Eight of Wands. So the Hangman in reverse, if you know, you know, that is my sign for it's time. Something you've been waiting for, right? It's time. But when it's like the Four of Swords in reverse, that is, it's time for you to get back to work. Like the rest is over. The Seven of Pentacles in reverse, that's it's time you've waited for this thing that's coming in. When it's the Hangman in reverse, it's time for you to come out of Hangman mode. Like universe and yourself both are conspiring to make this happen. Seven of Pentacles, I feel like it's outside outside people, outside conditions that are coming through for you. The Seven of Pentacles feels a little more powerless when it's in the upright. This might be you having to be to break the ice. This heals heartache. Gemini. You're both the same. It's like you're both not assholes, but you play one on TV because it's easier and it's safer that way. And it's what people expect of you anyway, because no one allows you to be everything that you are. So if you say something blunt or whatever, then you're an asshole. If you look at both sides of the coin, then you're an asshole. So at some point, you're just like, I'll just be an asshole. It'll be easier for me and everyone else, but you're not really. You are not really. Hello, Maricela. Is that I said what I said? Accurate. Okay. Yep. Okay. And did everybody get their invite for tomorrow? Listen, Linda, listen. Yeah, I used to say that more. You're right. Did everyone get their invite for tomorrow? Okay. I said what I said. Right? Paint the town red. You did not get an invite? Yes, you did. You replied. Didn't you reply? You messing with me. Are you messing with me, friend? I mean, I will certainly run as soon as this is over. I'll resend it out. I'll resend out the whole thing with the blind copy just to make sure. But the Zoom invite is like in the big... Okay. I'll resend it. I sent them like a week ago. I'm like on top of stuff. Oh, also the Aries, the fire sign extended reading was delayed because holiday. Which chart did you get? Did you get a natal or a progressed? Because if you get a progressed, if anybody got a progressed chart, or if you ever get a progressed chart from anywhere, from anyone at any time, it is based on the first lunation after you're born. So if you chose a progressed chart, which is one of the choices when you join the club. Hi, Doretha, glad you're back. That is going to, everybody does that. Whenever anybody gets a progressed chart, didn't matter when I was working for the other person too, every time we sent out a progressed chart, everybody would be like, this is wrong. You're progressed. Okay, Juan, I was like, wait, what? I would feel so terrible. So everybody did the same thing. So the progressed chart is based off the first lunation. So if you're, okay, you got it. All right. So if you're born June 26th, my progress chart, I believe, starts in the beginning of August. It'll say the birth information is like the beginning of August, because then that was the next, or it was probably the end of July. It's always not your birth date because it's progressed. Yep. Okay. Cancer. Hi, Dolly. Okay. Cancer, moon on the ascendant, 4th house placements. Okay. This is a crazy reading. I don't know where to start. Okay. So the 6 of Wands is in reverse. Now, what's interesting here is the 6 of Wands, which I always say you kind of can't make the 6 of Wands bad. This is the Druid Tarot. You kind of can't make the 6 of Wands bad, but if we look, they all have their heads down. So this is a very ego-driven, it's down. Okay, so maybe you've been on an ego journey. Maybe you're just doing a ton of self-examination. 7 of Swords in reverse. Prince of Pentacles in reverse. Not mad at that. The Devil in reverse. Also not mad at that. King of Swords. Don't like him so much. He's in reverse as well. Reverse King Day. Except for Taurus got an upright king. Taurus loves an upright king. This is either overcorrection. It feels like, listen, Pluto is in Capricorn, doing the hokey pokey, right? We have the nodes in a cardinal sign squaring Cancer placements. This is especially for late Cancer placements, I have to say. Feels like a shakeup. You may have been doing well for a while and then all of a sudden everything crashed. You either feel like something was taken from you or you've decided nothing was taken from you. I feel an oscillation. I feel back and forth. Like I want to be self-aware because I'm not going to fix this. Once Cancer hits the point of not going sideways and wanting to really, in distraction, and really wanting to address the things, let go of attachment to people, things, situations, their growth game is crazy, right? But you kind of have to get to those other places first. It feels like you're on the precipice of being there where your growth game is strong. This feels like you're almost torturing yourself, like going back and thinking about things that were said, things that were done, timelines, when could I have said yes? When did I not pick up the signs? I'm supposed to be intuitive. At what point do I take responsibility for what's going on right now? Because it feels like everything was going well, and then things were on the up and up. Things were like moving. Things, and I mean, this reading feels like it's taking place for more than a month. This feels like that everything going well was 6 months ago. And things have been not stable, whatever. You're trying to figure out what bad habits you can let go of, and you're working on them. The thing is that I almost want to do the pendulum. We're doing water signs this week, so we'll really get into it when we do Cancer in long form. But this Seven of Swords is like... Ooh, that Seven of Swords with the Six of Wands and the Devil in reverse. This is a whole lot of you going back and forth in your head and in your heart, quite frankly. Look at the word. Look at the worry. And that's in reverse. This is the Cancerian dance of trying to let someone go. This is the Cancerian dance of, was I holding on to this person? Because in my head, what it was is different. In my heart, what I felt was different than what it is in reality, really. This is accountability, but also a little self-torture. I feel like we'll find out on Wednesday whether this person really stole from you or not, or whether you're saying like it doesn't matter because I still put myself in this position, or I still need to figure out a way. It doesn't matter because I can't control what they did or didn't do, but obsessing over it. This is a little bit of obsessing over something that you can't control. It hurt you. But at the same time, at the same time, you are letting go bad habits. For some of you, you didn't do anything wrong, but it still brought you to a place where you're so deeply examining your own shit that you are going to improve your life. I think we think of catalysts to change as something we did wrong and now we want to fix it because we don't want to keep getting back in the habit. Sometimes what we do wrong, and you know I don't believe in shame, fuck shame, is the allowing. What you allow will continue. What you allow will continue. What you allow will continue. I have a very dear friend for the same 2 years. They'll keep coming to me with the same, and he's not going to watch this, so he keeps coming to me with the same thing. And in the beginning, he was asking, so I would give advice, and then I teased him, which I can do with my male friends because they take it very well, that he was an asshole, which means he kept asking, but he was never going to take, so like I'm spending hours to give him advice. He was never going to take. And that's just called venting. So don't ask me. Just tell me I need to vent. I don't know what I'm doing with it yet. I need to vent. That's great. Fine. Beautiful. Love it. You like it. I love it. Wonderful. But this was like, what should I do? Blah, blah, blah. How should I do that? So after a while, I was like, you know, you're just kind of an asshole. A-S-K-H-O-L-E. And so now when that subject gets brought up 2 years later, it's just even like a year later, it started where I would just say, you know, what you allow will continue, which is something I've known for a while and something I had to deal with myself. But that is this. And that is very Cancerian. What you allow will continue. And sometimes Cancerians can be moody, sure. Cancerians can be mean, absolutely. Can Cancerians be manipulative? Sure. Those are all trauma responses. Whether it was a sustained trauma in childhood and that's just now their personality, okay, sure. Still a trauma response. Just like I don't believe in slandering the other signs. Cancers want to swim in a sea of love. All the time. So they take every little shark in the water of that fever dream of how life should be very seriously. This really interests me. Okay, so yes, we have the King of Swords. There's a history of somebody here that isn't kind to you, and that might do a little brain surgery with a monkey wrench. While Cancers can be and get labeled a lot as like manipulative or emotionally manipulative, wow, can you manipulate them? An unhealed Cancer, they're putty in your hands. You can you can get them to do anything and say, thank you, sir, can I have another? Thank you, ma'am, can I have another? There's a history. God, I gotta stop saying I can hear myself and it's annoying. There's a history of you either speaking badly to yourself or somebody else doing it for so long that that is just your go-to reaction when presented with a situation like this, where maybe what you would crave is for it to just heal and be okay again. Sure, maybe a little vindication, but more you just want to go back and swim in that sea of love without the sharks. The King of Swords here, again, in reverse. I just got done saying when we were talking about this is a little abusive. Whether it's like mentally abusive and passive aggressive, I think the Knight of Swords in reverse is passive aggressive. This is just kind of mean. This is saying something to hurt somebody. And the question is this another person so far back that they taught you that like everything is your fault? You didn't love enough. You didn't give enough. Like when you finally put down boundaries, this reading is for you regardless of whether you have Moon on the Ascendant or 4th house placements or Cancer placements. I'm about to say something, and if that resonates, this is for you. Have you ever put down a boundary and then within days, weeks, or months of that boundary, you thought, was I too harsh? Did I give them enough room? Well, what if now they don't feel loved? You put down the boundary and said, I'm going to stop making the contact or whatever. And then within days, weeks, or months, I don't even think you're getting months, honestly. You almost have that, oh no, what if I hurt them? This reading is for you. Maybe I should reach out. Like I want to have boundaries for myself, but not at the expense of hurting them. We haven't really spoken about this Knight of Pentacles in reverse. It's possible this King of Swords in reverse, this Devil in reverse, had to be moved out of the way. However you got there. Might have been some hard contemplation, some hard inner reflection. However you got there, though, moving this King of Swords and this Devil energy in reverse and out of the way brings Listen, the Knight of Pentacles, the horse is never moving, right? I'm making a deck and the horse is stopped to drink water. They move so slow and so calculated, and in this card they have a shield. The Knight of Pentacles moves so slowly and so calculating because they want to be here for a long time, not just a good time. When it's in reverse, I feel like the wait for the Prince of Pentacles could be near an end. They could feel like they're closer than they've ever been. The other thing is they could be at a stop, but I don't feel that with this. With this Devil card, you know, the Devil card and the Lover's card looks a lot the same. Whatever you told yourself, why you didn't give enough, why you didn't love enough, why you weren't enough, why you were too soft, why you weren't badass enough, why you were too badass. Whatever it was that you weren't enough, that your brain has now, your Pita Puma, you'll give yourself your own lumps. Whatever you have been telling yourself that you did wrong, that you're not enough, that like maybe those boundaries were too harsh, all of that. Letting go of that may also be bringing what you saw as, I hate using the term, especially now, and I've been saying this for years, twin flame coaches has taken the whole twin flame thing and people trying to sell you a reading or a following or whatever based on like, ooh, it's your twin flame, right? The whole thing has been muddied. But this is whatever you feel is like your person. Whether you feel like it's your twin flame or you've been told it's your twin flame. And a lot of times you know, twin flames are not for every lifetime. They don't get their happy ending every lifetime. Sorry, folks. Do we see where we're going here? Victory used to look like, at all costs, connecting that connection with that person. Even when it wasn't fair. Even when it would put you in harm's way. Letting go of that bad habit of trying to make this toxic connection work. Letting go of the bad habit of telling yourself why it was you that did boundaries too hard, or didn't love enough, or didn't give enough room, or you weren't unconditional love enough once you said, I'm going to be unconditional love for you. Wait till you see how I can love you. It releases this Prince of Pentacles, this Knight of Pentacles. It releases them from their pen. No wonder I feel like a self-torture. No wonder I feel like this oscillation between this is what I need to do, this is how I need to examine. You haven't done anything wrong, I don't feel like. And I'm not saying that because I'm also a Cancer. I feel like for many of you, the thing that you did wrong was allow something to continue. Based on the fact that there is something that you could adjust about something you weren't doing perfectly or loving perfectly enough to leave room for this thing to come back in. I believe, Cancerians, there is somebody slow and steady. And they would like to stay. Finish this journey. The Knight of Swords is not just another, the King of Swords upside down here is not just another person. It's also what that person trained you to do in self-evaluation. And yes, there was probably some gaslighting a way back, but like you help yourself now to figure out, you know, how you weren't unconditional enough. you are responsible for releasing the energy for this, either the stability or this person to come in, or the person that you've been waiting on forever. It's at a stop, and you are also done waiting. It's going to be different for different groups of you, whether that's a person or a stability. It's crazy because I feel like there's two different situations. One situation made you go into that deep inner assessment, even though maybe there wasn't a whole lot of fault to be. It still made you go in deeply because you just don't want to be that person anymore, where you're in your own way. You've been in your own way. You've discovered you were in your own way, and you have vowed never to be in your own way again. So even if you're not totally at fault or don't even have a majority of the fault, you're still going to look deeply inward. And I have to say, it brings about, this feels like life-changing change on the inside, not about what's going on in the outside. It will have effects for the outside. Okay. Leo's 5th house placements. And this is Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising. All of them are just Leo placements, 5th house placements, and Sun by the Ascendant. Aw, thank you, Dolly. Yes, thank you, Stacy. Thank you so much. The sharing is caring, truly. Even if you share it to your own messenger, you share it to your own email, or you just press copy the link. That helps the algorithm, but obviously sharing it with other people. The documentary is, I watched like 8 minutes of it and I couldn't anymore because it's the thing I've been complaining about for years. The second that I saw a twin flame coach and I watched what they were offering, I thought, oh, this is so toxic. And then I would see people online and even people that I had friendships with, not anyone you would know. This is like TikTok stuff. That all of a sudden got very like, I am the only person that can help you with twin flame. I am with my twin flame, you know. None of those other people know what they're talking. It became this, a term that just was like weaponized within the community. There was so much ego in it. And the whole point of a twin flame connection is for you to grow. It's not about ego. It should never be about ego. And then those people, those coaches, like, that's just such bullshit. You cannot coach one person to make the other person's free will. Now, if you do healing for yourself, does it on some level, on some energetic, on some 5D level, help your connection? Sure. On some level. But like the whole thing was toxic. So I'm disgusted and not surprised. And I feel like when you're not surprised and disgusted, it's the worst kind of disgusted, if that makes any sense, because you saw it coming. And it has, yeah. I mean, maybe that's why the whole thing that I was supposed to do, about the difference between soulmate, karmic, and twin flame got put off, because I wouldn't have want to been lumped in with trying to sell people on that kind of connection. Connections are all important. All connections to other humans in this 3D world that we become connected with because of a 5D connection, because past lives, because of how our souls were developed for each other. They are all important, including the karmics. They're all vital. They are all vital. They are all equally as important. And to put importance on one, yeah, it's if that special ever gets done between twin flame and soulmate and karmic, then I will talk more about it. I don't want to go off. It's the worst. Listen, the spiritual community, there are great bus drivers that make sure your kids are okay, and there are horrible bus drivers. There are people in your children's lives that make your children's lives better, and there are adults in your children's lives that have no business being teachers or whatever. There are good and bad people in every profession, and I think that there is a misconception that if somebody is it's spiritual in any way, in metaphysical practitioner in any way, that somehow they are innately good, ethical, and sent from divine. We are all still human. We are all still having a human experience. Ego is involved in that. There are absolutely scammers. And this just, unfortunately, highlights the worst of the field. It's honestly why I like Tyler. That is not a packaged, polished person, and he's not trying to sell you anything. He's unapologetically, even though he does apologize a lot, who he is. He's raw, and that's Aries energy. It's messy, and it's authentic. I know a lot of people either, he's very polarizing. I think that's why he's so popular. Okay, Leos. This is very interesting. The moon card showing up again. Listen, we have a full moon coming, and it shows in these readings. 3 of Swords. Also, I think was like a follow-up card in the Taurus reading or the Aries reading. We have an Ace of Wands, as Gemma from Gemstones Tarot says, showing. And we have the Strength in reverse. Well, this is very easy. Healing a broken heart. Somebody comes along and woof, Kundalini, showing right through the sacral chakra. And then you may have like sworn yourself off, Leo, and being like, not doing that again. I am single now. I am keeping it safe and wrapped up so that I do not have to, experience that pain anymore. And somebody comes along, makes you weak in the knees, and you have 0 strength for it. 0. This is an interesting moon card. We have Scorpio back in the picture. This is kind of more of an eclipse moon card. So we may not have full truth here. This could be the shortest reading ever. I mean, this is not hard to figure out. if we look at it this way with the vulnerability, this is vulnerability. Healing from somebody else that hurt you and not feeling as strong. Somebody could be sweeping you off your feet or just making you feel alive again. You know, when we have our heart broken, when we are healing from anything, it can very much feel, you know, that serotonin and that oxytocin, that feels less accessible. We feel less alive. Those are the days where it's harder to get out of bed, right? Those are the days where it's harder to get out of bed. Somebody comes along and makes you feel like that. Sometimes it's a distraction you needed from feeling like this. I just don't. I think even if a part of you is like, maybe this isn't the best person to come along after the other person, you're still going to let them in because the distraction making you feel alive feels really, really good. Very curious. We don't have full truth yet. And there's nothing to say that somebody who comes along and gives you swing and kundalini awakening and right through the sacral chakra can't be somebody who also has longevity, permanence, stability. Like it can't turn into something. This is going to take you somewhere on your journey. As my Pluto on the ascendant inappropriate humor always says, like, you know, you're only going to get in that van if you think there's puppies and candy. But that van is there to take you a little further. Okay. All right, Leo. I'm officially giving you the pass. We have the 6 of Cups. This person's either going to bring you that kind of sweet, it's gonna come off just purely physical and electrifying in the beginning. The hidden truth here is that it could be more than that. There's a dance you're gonna need to do with yourself first, though, about trusting your own instinct, and also about do you move on too fast from one heartbreak to another person as the distraction? If you let this take its time and if you let them slowly reveal who they are, this has incredible potential. Not just kind of like soulmate-y potential, but healing for you. Juan. I mean, Leo was short and simple. I apologize. Leo's reading was hella long on Wednesday. So, but Leo, somebody's coming in and they have potential. You're going to have to let it go slow. And what you're supposed to examine in here is how do you move on fast for the distraction before you're finished processing? Do you let yourself sit alone? All right, we are on Virgo. Oh, everybody sit tight for a second. I have a phone call I absolutely have to take. Hold on one second. Can you hear me?
You're still muted.
Am I back? Am I back? I'm gonna take my horse on the old town road. I'm gonna... Okay, great. Of course, because there's... Ride till I can't no more. You feel like you're on a surgical table? Oh, because the way... Sorry. The lights. Okay. All right, we are on Virgo. Mercury on the ascendant. 6th house placements. And even if you're a Gemini rising, that might... Oh, are people requesting? Give me the baby. All right. Do you see how big he is? Nikki, say hi to the people. Go ahead. Give him a Lionel Richie concert. Hello? It was you they were looking for. He's got big rabbit feet too. Okay. Give the baby back. So Mercury on the ascendant, this can work too if you're a Gemini rising. Is a giant baby. Oh, did he peek at the camera? That does not shock me. He's a big boy. It's cuffing season. All the girls can need him. Need a big boy, need a big boy. He's a big boy. Okay. I don't use these cards as much as I should. These are my double major. All the cards, there's 2 of each of all the court cards and all the major arcana, and that's it. So like, it's what if the fool falls? So there's another... I already feel like this reading is going to be deep. Here we go. I'm seeing Queen of Wands. Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising. 6th house placements. Mercury near the ascendant or running the ascendant. There's something you have been pushing without realizing you're pushing it. There's a transition into graceful letting it be its own thing. That doesn't make sense. I see the Queen of Wands now. There's something that you loved, you wanted everyone else to love it, whether it was a person or a situation. Page of Swords in, we have 2 knights, 1 in reverse, like, yeah, Justice. Okay. The Knight of Cups is in the upright, but we have reverse Page of Swords and reverse Knight of Wands. Knight of Cups is backwards and drinking his own juice. Virgo, we may have had somebody that convinced you that you taking up for them, that you fine-tuning them was the ticket you may have some kind of karmic, just past life bond with this person. Like the good, bad it's indifferent. It doesn't matter. There's a bond with this person. There is a connection with this person. You are able to see things that not a lot of other people can see. This person may even have some form of like Asperger's or something that, or a very low scale, low on the spectrum of autism, that when they speak to people, they may come off the wrong way. You may know the real them in a way that other people don't get, or people on the surface, and people especially who are very, very concerned with whether everything looks nice or sounds nice. For some of you, you don't even see that as a problem. But whatever the connection with this person is, you were like, you know how I always say, like, if you like it, I love it for you. It was like, I like it. I need all of you to love it. Because the not being wrong thing is also very big here. There's a big connection with this person. And I mean big. I mean, they set you on fire. They made you feel like this is it. This is what I've been waiting for. And this Knight of Wands in reverse, that may not have, I'm getting a very specific story here. It's like you, again, I feel like this is like Sagittarius. I don't know why this always happens towards the end of my reads, but where I feel like I'm specifically just reading for one person right now. You took this person on. There's a big connection. Not everybody might have not loved this person right away or liked them right away, and then after a while was like, are you sure? This person may have become dispassionate about life, about themselves, about your relationship, about your own intimacy and physical passion. You may have thought that was because people were being so hard on them. It was affecting them in other ways. They were too depressed, occupied to like be affectionate anymore. I feel like this is a situation where when it gets good, it gets really good. And you get hope that it's going to stay that way. And it doesn't. It always feels a little temporary. The Page of Swords here also is the alternate Page of Swords where they get their eye pecked out. I feel like there was an insistence here and it wasn't always great information. Like, you might have been defending this person so much that you would be like, well, that only happened because you said this that way and that's how they reacted. Virgo, you could have alienated yourself a little bit with people or been so determined that this person is the right choice, or that people are just not giving them a fair shot. I feel like you're exhausted from this. And I feel like, Virgos, don't hate me. At this point, have you all seen the clip of, oh, what's his name? Pedro Pascal from Saturday Night Live. and he's dressed up as like the grandma, and he's saying, my boy does not have ADD. He just like to jump. I feel like that energy was you. You are the Pedro Pascal grandma. There's another clip coming out of that too. I feel like that is your energy, Virgo, that you were just like, no one understands, like, please understand my person, because my person is good and they do not have, there's nothing wrong with them. They just like to jump. At this point, this relationship, this person, this project, whatever it is so used to being able to do the very minimum. And they don't have to do shit because you're out there, you're ready to fight everyone. And you may have on some level. They are a little drunk on the juice that you poured in that cup now. They are backwards and happy and... Listen, justice is coming in for you, Virgo. I know you feel like maybe justice, some of you may be listening to this or cross-watching and going, really? Because Virgo's the one that needs the justice? Yeah. Because there is a connection that is so strong here that you were willing to, you know, Virgo wants to do what's right. Virgo wants to do what's ethical, but it's what's ethical to them, right? And to them, they felt like everybody was just taking this person on the surface and making whole judgments and like tolerating them when you wanted them to love them. Bye, Maricela. You wanted everyone to love them and they couldn't. And now you kind of realize that you've created this monster that isn't... You've created so much protective, defensive, there is nothing wrong with my person. You're seeing it wrong. Energy around it that they kind of feel safe to give bare minimum, and they're drunk on the juice that you poured a little bit. And I mean, Virgo will serve you. They will save you. They will help you. They will. We have the regular justice card in the upright. Now, justice is not the same as karma. Virgo, this may have bothered another or more than one relationship you have. And you're trying to find a way to have balance between, like, you don't want to fully have this person out of your life at this point. You also don't want to be, like, having them riding backwards drunk on the juice that you made. You haven't been able to be the queen of wands, of creativity, of relaxed empowerment. I'm seeing specifically the one queen of wands. I think she was in the fire reading from this deck, the Mystical Moments Tarot. Where she's under the sunflower and she's very illuminated and she's sharing her light. I feel like you haven't been able to be that for a while. Justice is going to come in the form of this person is going to have this guy. This person, this situation is going to have a run-in. Let's just confirm this. I feel like they're having a run-in with somebody that they knew before you. That you would not intercede between your person and this situation. I kept seeing the Queen of Wands for this Virgo. Okay. Justice and the Queen of Wands. You get to be your relaxed self. But the thing is that someone else is going to sober them up. I feel like it's either their family or like their best friend for 20 years is going to have a what the fuck dude moment with them. And you, for the first time, are just going to kind of happily stay out of it. You're not going to gas them up and be like, they don't know what they're talking about. You're going to be like, no, this is somebody who really knows them. You kind of know what you've done now, but at this point, you have doubled down so hard on your choices around this. And there was a connection. I don't think you could have helped this connection if you tried. But I feel like this, yeah. So we have the other Empress here and very confident. It came out in reverse. This energy is kind of the same. This might be a female. It might be a mom, a sister, a friend they've had for a while. You may not have liked this person. Virgo energy. You might have felt like this person's so mean to your person. You may have thought that they were out of hand when you first met them. But now you're going to sit back and let them both strength cards came out. So this one came out first. It could feel like you're being strong while you built this monster. And it's making your life, the whole thing is when this person came in, you thought this was like the thing that was gonna make your life whole and complete, and instead it's just made it this. And you don't mind being strong. Nothing has ever been easy for you anyway. So like dealing with a few toxic people you had to kick out because they weren't willing to give this other person understanding. They weren't willing to give them a chance. They were too harsh on them. They weren't as educated as you and as informed to understand the conditions or the things that this person goes through. And after a while, you realize that again, I feel like there's like this whole, like, yeah, I could be strong with everything going wrong around me. This is going to be tamed again. We have Queen of Wands. We have Justice. You don't have to serve this justice though. Someone else is going to come serve this justice. It's going to allow a space for you to pull back a little bit without looking like you abandoned your person. Virgo, this feels like it's been going on for years. And you don't want to look like a hypocrite. You don't want to come back now and say they're out of control, because you don't want to look like a hypocrite, right? After you were willing to be like, you're wrong to people about this person, this situation. So this other person coming in and having a fight and putting this person in their place and telling them that they're drunk on their own juice and riding backwards and all that other stuff is the justice that you need to have the space to reassess and then to start to correct without your tail in between your legs. Because whatever room you gave them that they took and ran with, you give an inch, they took a mile. There's more about, you can't feel like this is how this always goes. You can't feel like you give and have it be taken advantage of. You can't feel like people just expect you. It's that 6th house energy, right? Like, things are just expected. That's the minutia. It's the daily routine. It's your health. It's things that like we take for granted until it's a problem. It's also self-mastery, right? And so Virgos can be very hard and critical on themselves. So when you're championing, it's so much easier to champion someone else. That's why they're the sign of service, right? It's so much easier to champion someone else. And so you championed hard, and they left you more vulnerable instead of like filling that cup for you of advocation. So this justice that comes in, we have the star at the bottom of the deck. That's going to be beautiful for you because you're needing for sure that space to kind of correct without. I feel like you have so much to offer, and you know that, and you know how wise you are, and you're so afraid that if you have to say I was completely wrong with this person, no one will ever trust you to guide them again. No one will ever trust you to be wise again. And so like, you don't want to go down with this ship. You don't want to go down with the ship. And so this window of opportunity, and you meant well. And again, there is a connection that can't help. Just can't help it. I want to know where those other cards are. Okay. So we are going to do a random love reading, and then I'm going to give a reading away. Sound good? Hi, Charlie. Random love reading, and then give a reading away. And by the way, there is a, I started a series of Into the Lonely Woods. There's a reading up. I have to get another one up today, and then we'll get the fire signs readings up. And then tomorrow we are having our private Zoom party for members, and it's a tarot party. So it's within the Zoom party, it's readings for everybody. Tarot or pendulum or channeled. It's the metaphysical Zoom. And if you want to hop in on that, like, as long as, if anybody was thinking about it and they want to hop in on that, if you wanted to, like, it's astro or nerd levels. But I'm going to say before 10 a.m. tomorrow. After 10 a.m., I probably won't send out any new invites for any new joins. Okay. Can I get a love reading for somebody who needs to hear it, that will hear it, directed at someone already in the community or new that will wander on to this message. Here we're going to take one tarot, one vintage journey of the divine connection. Last time we tried to take an angel romance card, but it wasn't having it. I'm just going to let these all pile up. See if it wants to give today. Okay, let's get a message. And then we're going to take a Kipper card. And then I might take an Oracle advice card. Very interesting so far. Okay. The tarot that we got is the Ten of Swords in reverse. Something has been dead for a while. For some reason, there's still some kind of connection. This may be financial. This may be around family. This may be around a living circumstance. And it like who's living with who. But it also may be waiting for your own inner strength to leave the situation, or this could be about your person. It feels like your person is ready to leave a situation, or just left a situation, and you may have expected to hear from them as soon as that situation was over, and you haven't. They're not fully out of it yet. It feels like you've been here before. Oh, I need my glasses for this one. Put a stop to anything that makes you feel less than the divine creature you are. They put really light writing over. It feels like you've been here before. I feel like you don't want to hope, you don't want to put expectations, you don't want to like hurt yourself the way that you've hurt yourself around expectations before, especially with this person. You could have heard that this person is now single again, and you're like, you might have spent weeks, months, or years thinking that when they're single again and I'm single again and everything lines up, that, you know, this will come back together because there was such substance to this connection and fire. You're not hearing from them, and it's immediately putting in your, it's immediately poking at your self-esteem, and you're trying to be very cognizant of not letting their lack of movement towards you kill what you worked so hard to build back up. And you can't tell, am I repeating a cycle or is it changing? And they're not completely done. Are they waiting to come near me? Because this could have been somebody that came near you before they were completely clear on who they were going to be with or what was going on. They may have approached you when they were at the end of another relationship, and then that didn't go the way that you both thought it was going to go in the beginning. And they're unwilling to do that. I feel a lot of respect for you from this person. I'm ignoring other people. If you're worried that this person is not contacting you because they've already moved on to somebody else, they have not. We have the Passion card, the Fabio Romance cover card. You didn't imagine the passion and it's still here. What's crazy is we have the Marriage card from the Kipper deck. I'm not a big fan of relationship hopping, right? Relationship jumping. It doesn't give us time to heal in between. And when we go from one mirror, our reflection being predominantly seen through another person's eyes and their own lens of trauma and their own stuff, it's a little harder for us to get a clear picture of ourselves without having that filtered through that other person. So I'm a big fan of taking a little space in between when you can. I think this person has not done that before, and they are now. And there's a place that you can go to where you just don't feel like anyone would choose you first. And you're trying not to go there. This really feels like a real connection, and this really feels like something that can happen. But you're not hearing, they're not completely out of the pain. They're not out of the woods. They're not. Let's get an oracle advice card. Okay, here we go. Oh, these are the same size. I should have never put them together. Okay. This is like some kind of romance oracle from Angela somebody. Love endures. Love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. Now, that might be a little toxic positivity. That might have been who you were. And that probably landed you hurt. So let's get another one. I believe the love endures. This feels like real love. It really does. There's a lot of love here. Have faith. Have faith. Without putting yourself in waiting energy, because this is going to take a while to heal from. When somebody experiences 10 of Swords and this much pain, it's going to take a while to heal from. And you putting yourself in the position to feel like less than because you're not hearing from them. It's a little self-sabotaging, which we all do. That's a human thing. That's not judgment. But I feel like whoever this random love reading is for, I mean, they are not talking to other people. It's not like you're so easily replaced. And this it's passionate, it has marriage potential. Have faith, love endures. They're not done with what they're feeling inside over this last one. Okay. it's a Saturday. People have things to do and they got busy. And so that means for the people left, there is more of a chance of you winning a reading. Again, I always ask that if you've won in like the last 6 months that you let somebody else. If you want to play along, if we do intuition, that's great. But we're going to let somebody else take the actual reading. So what I'm going to do is pull from the double major, which means we're only going to be dealing with, and it won't matter what version of it is, we're only going to be dealing with major arcana or court cards. Roast garlic, spread it on toast. Like make a garlic confit. Throw it in the oven with olive oil and a pinch of salt and slow roast it. You put rosemary in there and other things. Spread that on toast. It's a natural antibiotic. That and at the end of summer I make like a fire honey. Just best cold syrup ever. That you kind of have to make 6 weeks in advance. You could make it now, you'd have it for the rest of the winter. Okay. I have a major arcana. In my hand, I hold a picture of 2 girls. No. I have, in my hand, I hold, behind here is the picture of 1 major arcana. That's all in my fire honey. Turmeric, cayenne, onion, garlic, orange peels. It actually tastes delicious. All right, which one of the major arcana will be top model? It's a major arcana card, so not a court card. Court cards are pages, knights, queens, and kings. It's not one of those. It's just going to be, hi, Verity. Look at that whole top model thing was just for you. It's not going to be a queen or a king. It's a major arcana. So it won't be a queen, a king, a page, or a... Your next roommate's going to cook like me. In my hand, I have... No one has guessed it yet. Yeah, it's not going to be an ace or a 2 or a 3 or a 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of anything, and it won't be a queen, a king, a page, or a... It'll be one of the other majors. All right, I'm going to actually sit here and like think of it. See if you can tie in. And it is the alternative version, but I will take... There you go, Odette. It's the Hermit. Okay, so Odette, I was going to message you anyway, so, because you emailed me, so I will email you with a gift certificate. So you just want a half an hour reading, which seems appropriate. So, because I was gonna, gonna message you back anyway. All right, guys, like, share. Wednesday, again, I will record, but then I'll be live in the chat so I can be more interactive and it won't be interrupting the reading, which probably will make the readings less annoying to watch. I always think like if you're in the community, this is probably great, but if you're replaying, and let me know if it's like I love the interaction. So I'll still keep the weekends like this, but for the elemental readings, I'm gonna start recording ahead of time and then being live in the chat so we can discuss it, and we'll see how that goes. I will see a lot of you Sunday, tomorrow, for the Zoom party. If you are Astro or nerd level and you did not get your invite, please let me know either in this chat right now or in the comments. And if you wanted to either become an Astro or a nerd level between now and 10 in the morning, I can still send you an invite to that Zoom party. We're gonna have lots of fun and everybody's getting free 2-card tarot pulls, so everybody can come with their questions. I love you, now you love you. I'll see you all soon.